So recently, one of my students just crossed over $1 million for the year of 2025 with her Shopify store. And today, I kind of want to go over just more so the key lessons that I would say this particular student kind of went through, and the things that I've just observed over this particular student over the last couple months to be able to hit that $1 million within that year to date. I remember when this particular student first came into the program, they're probably hovering around 50K a month in revenue, and since then I've been able to scale past 100K a month. And as of August 2025, our weekly group call we had about a week ago, the student was even calling out the fact that she's about to cross 200K for the month of August. So today I really just want to go more specifically building out $1 million a year e-com brand specifically, and doing $1 million a year with Facebook ads, and what are the key, I would say, characteristics, actions, and things like that this student did to be able to hit that, and actually under 12 months specifically. So with that being said, let's dive into the video. So key lessons going into this, I would say the very first one is just consistency. Consistency will just do amazing things for your life, to be fair. I don't know if y'all have ever seen like Chinese torture in a way, and it's like the water torture where it's just a water drop consistently over someone's head. It's like the worst form of torture out of all of them right there. Just little efforts every single day for an extended period of time would just outperform anyone who does sprint, stop, sprint, stop. So this case right here, this particular student just really focused on running a marathon here versus a sprint. So let's talk about some of those key actions they were consistent with over a long extended period of time. So number one is testing new ads weekly when the prior didn't work. Now, let me be very clear on that. Why did I add when the prior week didn't work? Because I see so many students, not even students, just people on YouTube and like Twitter and stuff like that, where they test new ads for 1 week because they see creative testing works with Facebook ads, and then they test new ads, those new ads don't work, and then they just essentially go ahead and like stop testing new ads every week because testing those new ads once didn't work for them. So this particular student, Jen, she's been testing new ads every week for over the last year now that she's been in the program itself. There was more weeks that the new ads didn't work than the weeks that the ads did work. But the thing is once you find those winning ads, they just make up for all the weeks that didn't essentially work. Next thing is that she dropped new products every week, and the same thing, even when dropping new products didn't work. This is a big thing where people start testing dropping new products to existing customers and to improve reoccurring profits and LTV and like all of those good things. And like this particular student right here, she's dropped a couple weeks of products where they just didn't work, but like she didn't let that beat her down. She still consistently tested new products every single week. Next thing is just showing up every day. She never really like played inconsistent at all with this business right here. Like, yeah, maybe there'll be some days she was less motivated, some days she didn't want to show up, maybe some days she only put an hour in instead of 10 hours in, but overall, like every day she showed up, and she wasn't treating this like a hobby, like for me with like golf, for example, where I play every couple of months, I practice every couple of months. It's just something I do for fun here and there. She actually treated this like a real business, which was really good. Next thing, inside of the group, the inner circle, I do weekly calls, also do monthly one-on-one calls. She's always showed up to almost every single weekly call over the last year, and I would say almost every month she's booked a one-on-one call with me where I can dive into her business and give her specific feedback to what she's currently doing right now. Next thing is that she leveraged the same strategy over the last year. She kept doing the new creative. She kept doing the new products. She didn't change her ad account structure every week. She didn't go 1 week bid caps, 1 week cost caps, 1 week just random fucking things you guys are seeing on YouTube and Twitter that make zero sense. She just maintained the same strategy over a long period of time, and month over month just kept scaling up and up and up and up and up. A lot of you guys are stuck where you're at, not because your creatives are bad, not because your product is bad, but because your own fucking mindset of every day feeling like you have to change things when you see shit on Twitter, YouTube, or Instagram, and you feel like you're missing out on the next big strategy. Like, I've been running the same strategy the last 3 years. Facebook is actually pushing more and more now to the strategy I leverage because I saw the long-term vision with it, which is test new creatives, test new products, test new offers, and let Facebook do all the other work. And that's essentially what I've maintained the last 3 years. And it's allowed us to scale multiple clients to 7 figures a month and dozens and dozens of people to multiple 6 figures a month in revenue, and hundreds of students and people that watch the YouTube channel and stuff like that. Long story short, people who maintain a strategy for a long period of time just to see substantially better results. Now, next thing is building ads with intention. She wasn't just throwing ads every week into the ad account and hope something sticks. Every ad creative was built with a hypothesis and intention on why it should be tested to improve performance right there. There was a reason why that creative was going to be tested. Not just, oh, I like it, boom. And like just throwing things in the account and like being very like out, like instead of like distant from the creatives that are going in the account. Like she was close, she was seeing the creatives, she understood why they were going in the account and stuff like that. She was testing clearly with intention and stuff. Now, next thing is that she had a winning product with a competitive advantage. This also plays a huge key right here. If you have a winning product and stuff, like you also want to like have a competitive advantage as well. Competitive advantage is why people should buy from you versus everyone else. She was in a very saturated market, but she still manipulated her product and like altered her product from a manufacturing perspective to give it a competitive advantage versus everyone else, which plays also a huge role as well in the success of her business. Now, next thing is that she has a large TAM. A TAM essentially is just your total addressable market, the total amount of people that you can specifically sell to. Now, this is like the difference between selling to left-handed brain surgeons versus products for sorority girls, right? Like if I were to go start a clothing line specifically for left-handed brain surgeons, that's going to be extremely small and like there won't be any scale there. Then we have products for sorority girls. There's millions of sorority girls in the USA just for alone, for example. There's a larger TAM there and a significantly more amount of people that we can sell to, which is going to increase our scalability by a ton. Now, next thing, launch more products. I've already talked about and been vocal about the fact that she tested new products every week, but launching more products is another big one right here. So just like testing new product or creatives weekly, we also liked, or this particular student also dropped new products weekly. Now, you don't necessarily need to drop new products weekly, but depending on like your business, like a clothing brand, you can do weekly. A high-end electronics brand would be like once a quarter or once a month right there. So depending on that right there will kind of dictate how often you need to drop new products, but it needs to be a habit that's done exactly at that time frame every single time that time occurs right there. So if you commit to once a month, you do once a month, and you never skip once a month, and you never get fucking emotional about it when it doesn't work one month and you're like, oh, it doesn't work, I'm gonna stop doing this shit. It's like, bro, you fucking retarded. Like people who literally do this, they have more months where it doesn't work than when it does work. So the key thing here is understanding that when it does work, it literally pays off for all the prior months that doesn't work. That's the big thing. Now, the next thing is that launching more products with the intention of increasing LTV, getting your existing customers to buy from you, you're going to have substantially more profits month over month that roll in because you're getting a lot of your existing customers to buy products that you already have on your site that you don't need to advertise for, just essentially just sending out emails and SMS and stuff like that. And it'll just essentially go ahead and start boosting that retention side right there. Now, next thing is testing offers. Testing offers right here. This is just essentially where, we're going ahead and like testing, 50% off, 20% off, $10 off, spend $20, get this free mystery gift or whatever. I really like pinklily.com. Pinklily.com does an amazing job because they constantly are testing different offers and it gives you a lot of really good inspiration here. So yeah, highly recommend signing up to Pink Lily's email, SMS and stuff like that. Same thing here. Testing new offers weekly, monthly. It really just kind of depends on your market and stuff like that and like how much of an offer do you need to convert and stuff. But typically a good rule of thumb here is bi-weekly or monthly for testing new offers. Now, last thing here is that Jen, she actually invested in herself. There's a lot of people here that watching this video right now, they're stuck. They're not making the money they want and stuff like that. And they keep telling themselves, hey, Once I'm making certain amount of money, then I'll invest in myself. But the problem here is that how are you going to get there if you don't know what the fuck to do next? So the thing here is that when you're investing in yourself, you're realizing, hey, I'm not making that money, so I have to spend money now and to invest in myself to increase the likelihood of me achieving that particular milestone right there. And that's the biggest thing that a lot of people get wrong with personal development. It's like, hey, I want to make 10K a month. I'm like, cool. Here's what you need to like go invest in to like do that. And they're like, well, I want to make 10K a month before I do that. I'm like, don't you realize here that you don't have the skill set to get there? You don't even know like how to get there. So in order to get to 10K a month, you have to invest in yourself to learn what it takes to get to 10K a month. Then you go apply that. Then you get to 10K a month. And that's how you get to 10K a month. And that's the thing like Jen did. Like she was stuck. She was doing 30, 50K a month. She was stuck and she didn't really realize like what's the next step she needed to do. She invested in herself to help her get to where she needed to go next. Now, next thing is that she knew this free content online was not going to get her where she wanted to be. Like I do my best to like provide the most free content as I can and be able to provide to a level that's better than the majority of courses in the marketplace. But when you just consume free content, there's something about it where like you don't really have an urgency to get an ROI on it. So for me, it's like not only are you investing in yourself, but when you pay money for information, you treat that information to a higher degree. And you basically treat it in a way where it's like, hey, you know, like I have to get an ROI on this. And it puts more urgency behind it to actually take action and apply it itself. So just the free content online, like it'll take you far. If you watch my free content specifically, it's going to take you even further. But when you invest in yourself and actually have an urgency now to get an ROI on money you just paid, it substantially increases the speed of which you scale and the speed of which you make more money at the end of the day. Now, next thing, she didn't want to go to courses. She knew she needed more of a mentorship versus courses. Courses are great, but like majority of courses are aimed for beginners. She wants to go more intermediate to advanced. So that was a big thing. This is where she also knew like the circle of influence will also greatly impact her scaling ceiling. So like if you're in a room full of people that think $100 a day is a lot of money, like once you hit $100 a day, you're like, all right, cool. I don't need to push myself. But when you're in a room that thinks like $1 million a month is a lot of money and everyone's striving to hit $1 million a month, like it's going to substantially make you realize, oh fuck, 50K a month is nothing. 200K a month is nothing. And that was a big thing of why she wanted to join the inner circle as well. Next thing is that she wanted someone who's been there before. I've helped many brands scale, and I have tons of videos that are just very vocal and showing y'all behind the scenes and stuff like that. Like I'm not trying to hide anything here. So she realized that like I've been there before. I've helped many brands scale. I've done the actions and stuff. Not only mention that, I still run an agency that actively runs ads, and I'm still the one that actively runs the ads. So I'm constantly in tune of what's going on at all times. And this is why she basically came to the inner circle specifically because of these key things. The inner circle is a one-on-one mentoring program plus with some group stuff as well on top of that, done directly with me. It's not done with a coach. It's not done with like some agency partner or anything like that. Everything's essentially done with me, and that's how she was able to hit $1 million for the year, specifically in 2025. So she's actually gonna do substantially more money throughout the year, and this is all everything included in the inner circle for you guys who want to run through this. It's one-on-one calls with me once a month, group calls once a week with me, group chat with all the other members like putting their creatives in there for me to review and reply to like various other different questions and stuff like that. And then it's more, I also include a course, but the course is more intermediate to advanced with all the call recordings as well for my group calls. And this is not for beginners at all. And the average in the group is doing about 100K a month in revenue. So this is for people who are serious about scaling to the next level. And if you want to learn more, there's a link below to my inner circle, and click it below, watch the video. You can even apply for the inner circle after, and then there's even an option if you want to buy now or do a call first with my student success manager to kind of go over and see if you're a good fit. So link below for the inner circle, and I'll see you guys inside of there.